Welcome to the 2013 NBA Draft Breakdown of Isaiah Canaan. You can see the smile. It's a good kid right there. Everybody who's met with him says he's fabulous. 6 feet, 188. Wingspan 6'4" and a half, which helps. He is a point guard, kind of. We'll get into that a little bit. He averaged 22 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists. He's a point guard because he's 6 feet tall, shot well from the outside, 37% from 3. Similar to Shane Larkin in a lot of ways, but watch this to the end and see what you think. Right now, let's take a 3-minute snippet of just kind of all of his plays, mostly one-on-one action, kind of who he is as a player. You'll notice throughout this, and I'll really get into the pick and roll, that he likes to come back to his right hand a lot. But a similar game to Larkin, similar size player. He led Murray State to a lot of success in his career. This time he gets stripped. This is against Belmont in the conference championship game this year. They lose this, don't make the tourney after making it the year before. Nice banker on a pull-up right there. There's some athletic issues with him. You'll watch. He's a 2-foot jumper. Whenever he comes in the lane, he drives. He's got to get – that's the one time I saw him go off 1 foot. He drew the foul, but no explosion. And you watch him work. Big jump shooter. And we'll get to that in a moment. But he's a 2-foot jumper. Here's a play in transition. Splits the double team. Able to throw a nice pass, so he leads that break very well. Working one-on-one far side, back to his right hand, gets suffocated a little bit, misses that one. Now against Marquette his junior year in the NCAA tournament. This is a good Marquette team, had a few NBA second-round draft picks on it. Nice pull-up, Jay. Most of these are all off rhythm, as you're noticing. He's kind of stepping into it, pulling up as he did right there. Those are harder to get in the NBA. We'll look at his spot-up shooting. Right side drive into the lane, pure power. Show me the muscles, Isaiah, and able to force his way through it. He's very strong. Here it is in the lane again, drawing the foul. But you'll see there's not a lot of elevation, and both feet have got to come down for him to jump. And in the NBA, that makes it very difficult for players to be able to get shots off and find shooting windows. I think he took about 9 long jumpers a game, which was most in the NBA. There's the double foot jump, fade back. Just couldn't find the window to get it off. Nice move here to step into a jumper, but doesn't finish it. Crosses over, in the lane, spin, travels, no call, couldn't finish. Here's against South Dakota State. It was a good matchup with Nate Wolters. Right side drive. And again, there's that double foot, and the defense is able to suffocate him a little bit. Now he just drops one right on Wolters over the top. So spot-up shooting, they use him a lot as a 2, coming off baseline picks, and all those other things were rhythm jumpers. So let's see what we see here. And it's a nice jump shot, pretty pure. Got that kind of right kick out, which little guys often do to try to create the space. Buries the first 2 big ones here. Deep range. Unable to make that, though, against Marquette. And I'm picking the hardest games, the biggest games. That's where I want to see him. Misses that one here in this corner. Walters actually will illuminate that shooting windows, block the shot off the side of the glass. So watch his pick and roll play. Most of the stuff you saw early was all one-on-one stuff. So now we watch his pick and roll game. And you'll see it always comes back to the right. Here, left, come back to the right. A little floater, nice move. That was a big one in OT against Belmont. Left. This time all the way to the basket. You can see it's pretty uncomfortable. Again, that double foot right there hurts him to be able to get up. Comes back to the right into a step-in jumper, a little long with it. This is back to his junior year against Marquette. Pick and roll. And watch the big guy wide open in the middle lane. He just didn't see him. And that happens with some regularity. And that begins to bring into the question of whether he's really a point guard or whether he's a point guard because he's 6 feet tall. Steps into a jumper here in that South Dakota State game, misses it. The passing you see out of him is inside the system. It's good enough. He gets 3 or 4 assists a game. It's pretty good recognition in transition, as you see here. And then he'll penetrate and hit the corner, which is clearly what their system was for him off the high pick and roll. Another one he finds. Does a nice job recognizing that defender's to him. Nice little pocket pass down here. His vision's okay. It's not great. He leaves some guys open in the middle lane. It's better, actually, as the floor opens up wider in transition from what I saw out of him here. Here's a neat little pass inside again. And That one was late, actually. If you watch that again and back that up, I should have tipped it off to you. He was a little late on that. Transition, Murray State walked it up more often than not in some of these games, and he doesn't go all the way to the basket very often, which kind of gets back to that 2-foot jump issue with him. He leads the break, finds the guys. Here it is again. Watch, driving, and he's got to go off both feet, and that defense suffocates him. He does finish in a nice play. He's very, very strong. Back to the whole debate of whether he's a point guard or not is where's his handle. He didn't turn it over excessively. I mean, 3 game, the amount of times he has the ball in his hands is a lot, but you'll watch when he's under heavy pressure, he retreats out there. It's a little loose here. Gets pressured and gives it up. Really didn't go anywhere with that dribble. Here he is again, heavy pressure. Belmont overtime in the conference title game, loses it on a turnover, and really doesn't seem to know where he's going with some of these. Pressure against Marquette. In the NCAA tournament, dribbles off his foot. This is hard because you're picking the turnovers, but he does get pressured. He gets pushed out a little bit in what he's doing. Turns it over there as he got in the middle lane. Doesn't necessarily have that right answer. He's going to come out around the far side, being trailed by Walters, and the help comes, knocks it away, and steals it. So let's flip it over and look at him defensively. This is a little bit of a mixed bag with him. Times he's so strong at 190 pounds and 6 feet and kind of a bowling ball. It's good. Other times, guys are just turning the corner on him with some level of ease, as was the case there. And then his help defense is sparing. Working the far side up on the body and trying to stay out of foul trouble. He picks up the foul there. I mean, a lot of this is that same case with the great college players where they don't want to pick up foul trouble. A lot of room on that jumper right there. Up on the ball, driving, goes right by him. And that's the kind of bugs you is just, oh, well, he got by me. And you see that with some regularity. Here's a blow-by in the Marquette game. Walters driving on him with the left hand to the basket without much resistance. Walters again on him here. Nice defense this time as he gets in on his body, takes away where he wanted to go, stays with him, fights through the pick and roll. Nice job on that one. This time Walters gets a clear side, sets him up, gets him to the right with a little floater. He is actually better kind of off the ball defense, or seeing here he's denying up high and does a nice job. He's battling, he stays with it, good tenacity. Open court here, takes a charge. This is a good sequence of defense for him, but it's not always guarding the ball. Here it was not so good. He didn't close out on the fast break, and they just kind of rolled by him. But this time he does close out well, stays with it, stays in the lane to help on the next, and takes the charge. I mean, that's a very, very good defensive play. That shows you he can do that, and as his role changes as a backup point guard in the NBA, maybe he'll be able to do that more. 6 feet tall, he's got to guard the pick and roll. Let's watch him here. He's double picked, stays with it, up on the ball. Pick's going to come, and they're able to knock it away and get a steal. Here it is again. He gets set up in the pick, goes under, and then that little reach in is not much going to do a lot. Here he gets picked off and just quits on it. Picked off, battles hard to try to get back, but Johnson Odom's got NBA speed, so he gets by him. Picked here, able to get back a little bit better with some help from his friends. This time took a really circuitous route and wasn't able to stay with it. I love this part of his game. At 6 feet tall, this gives you where his strength really kicks in. Look at him go up for the board in traffic. These rebounds he got are not easy rebounds, and tells you, how he uses his strength, some of his athleticism. Nice one there, in traffic. Grabbing out the rebounds. If he can do this as a backup guard and then lead some breaks off it, he'll be pretty valuable. I was concerned about some things I saw, and I want to show them to you. Every report of this case is a really good kid, but watch him here. On the far side, just walk back. This isn't the championship game of the conference. Just walking back. Second half, close game. Just walking. And I'm not just picking rare occasions here. Here he's working in A bomb with a minute left in a 66-66 game. Seems a little questionable shot selection. Now he comes out to get it. Game on the line, 68-68, 25 seconds left, just loose with the ball, dribbles off his foot. Left side this time, wide open, wants the ball, doesn't get the ball. NCAA tournament, they're going back the other way. I see 1, I see 2, I see 3, I see 4 Murray State players. Where are you, Isaiah Canaan? It's the NCAA tournament, biggest game you've ever played in your life. Run back, please. You decide what you think. That's the 2013 NBA draft breakdown of Isaiah Canaan. Lots to like in there. Some things still to hope develop over time.